Now, first and foremost standard that I am starting is SA 250. Remember, Likita, I gave list of entire 35 standards on auditing. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Out of that, what are all covered in various chapters? I mentioned 9 standards are eliminated from scheme. Sir, for
Yes.
old syllabus scheme, 9 standards are not eliminated. See, ICA intention is not to test 9 standards for old scheme. ICA intention is 9 standards are eliminated from CA intercurriculum. They didn't give express notification for old scheme. That's the only problem. But they don't test to best of my knowledge. So out of 35, 9 standards were eliminated. You are having 26 standards, out of which now we need to discuss 8 standards. Do you remember that count?
Yes, sir.
8 standards only we have to discuss. Out of 8 standards, SA 570 I have already uploaded now. I have already uploaded. Even now, if we discuss, it will take half an hour. Instead of that, there is a 1 hour recording which I have, which is latest recording. You will get even more brief, good idea on SA 570. That's the reason I'm not explaining here. We will focus on other standards at the same time.
Okay, sir.
And I will forward you SA 570 videos. Along with this, once again, I'll also forward you SA 570 videos. I will upload the same even in our this one also, G drive also. So now let us have a recording standard wise. Clear? SA 250. What is SA 250? Just Likita, as soon as the standard is complete, just remind me that standard is completed so that I'll stop and restart recording for the next standard. Okay. What is
okay,
SA 250? SA 250, auditors' responsibilities. Auditors' responsibilities relating to laws and regulations in an audit of financial statements. In an audit of financial statements, what are the auditor's responsibility relating to laws and regulations? You know, Likita, this standard is divided into 2 types. This standard divides laws and regulations into 2 types. Type 1 and type 2. So what is type 1 laws and regulations? Type 1 laws and regulations are those laws and regulations that have a direct effect, on material amounts or disclosures in financial statements, that have direct effect on material amounts and disclosures in financials. Other laws that do not have direct effect on material amounts or disclosures in financial statements. 2 types of laws, but compliance with them is important for running of the business. Is important. If at all you don't comply, you are liable to pay fines and penalties, which will have a material impact in future. Material impact on financial statements. Now tell me, Likita, first of all, I have to do audit of financial statements whether they are free from material misstatements, right?
Yes, sir.
My objective is whether balance sheet, P&L are reflecting true and fair or not.
Yes, sir.
Why the hell I should verify laws and regulations?
Financial statements, those are all prepared in accordance with laws and regulations also. They need to comply.
Of course, they have prepared as per accounting standards, they have prepared as per Companies Act, they have prepared as per Schedule 3. Do you think only these 3 things are spoken about laws and regulations?
No.
Suppose GST liability, I thought I misinterpreted, the company misinterpreted GST liability is not applicable for them. They thought their product comes under exempted service or exempted good, and they did not pay GST at all. Now, as an auditor, are you supposed to check whether GST is applicable for the company or not?
We need to check.
What if GST is applicable, but company has not recognized it? What will happen because of this? Understatement of liability.
Yes, sir.
GST is a liability which you have to pay. You have understated. Are you clear?
Yes,
so
sir.
If I fail to comply with GST law, if I fail to comply with income tax law, if I fail to comply with EPF law, if I fail to comply with ESI law, if I fail to comply with profession tax, these laws and regulations which we discussed in statutory use point Caro, remember?
Yes, sir.
These will have direct effect on financial statements. If at all I did something wrong, some amount will affect, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that will have a direct effect. Tell me, pollution loss. Pollution loss very important for a company to comply with, yes or no? If I repeatedly fail with pollution loss, pollution related standards, industrial standards, if I fail, what will happen? My business license will be cancelled. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If my
Going
license is cancelled, going concern is over, company will shut down. Now tell me, if I emit higher pollution, will it lead to balance sheet material misstatement?
No.
No. But if it is discovered later on, fine will be levied.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, do auditor have to check pollution or not?
Need to check, sir.
But he cannot check. Reason? See, type 1 loss, we will learn while conducting. This is there in our scope. Yes or no?
Yes,
This is
sir.
there in our scope of learning. Example, tax loss, labor loss, and all. I learned. This is there in my scope of syllabus. Type 2, I only told example pollution loss. What about product safety loss? What about consumer safety loss? What about pharma related company medical norms that you have to follow? There are so many other laws and regulations which will directly impact the business. It may not impact financial statements, but it will impact business law.
Yes, sir.
What about these laws? What about type 1? What about type 2? Do I need to verify each and every type 2 law? Do auditor of Nestle India, does he aware that lead content is high in Maggi?
No.
Are you supposed to check Maggi noodles? See whether lead content is high. Nutritional fact, whatever is there behind the biscuit packet, is the nutrition fact correct or not? Are you supposed to check?
No.
Are you supposed to see legal metrology compliances? No. These are all technical laws which you can't verify, which is not in our scope. But tell me, if these laws are failed, this will have a material penalty or fine on the company.
Yes, sir.
Are you clear? So,
yes, sir.
Sir, now what is the responsibility of auditor regarding these types of laws? Okay, type 1 laws, I understand, tax and labor laws, which we generally read, so I can verify them. What about type 2 laws? Can I ignore? Should I ignore? What the standard says? Type 1 laws, type 2 laws. What is the responsibilities of the auditor regarding type 1 and type 2? Type 1, obtain reasonable assurance whether all the laws and regulations, which laws and regulations? Type 1, whether all the laws and regulations are complied with. Example, I will do TDS reconciliation, I will do GST reconciliation, I will do provident for reconciliation, I do ESI reconciliation, I verify each and everything, how much we have to pay, when we have to pay, what time we paid, what is the delay, what is the short payment, what is the excess payment, when return is filed, when return is not filed, because of the return failure, what is the penalty, A to Z, I will verify regarding this. I should get reasonable assurance whether they are compliant or not, because even I have to report in Caro point also, whether statutory dues are regularly paid or not.
Yes, sir.
So this I will do an in-depth coverage. What about type 2? First of all, I am not competent enough. I am not competent enough to verify type 2 loss. So what will I do is I will just perform limited audit procedure. Limited audit procedures whereby I only give limited assurance. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
I perform limited audit procedure and just I will just obtain limited assurance. Sir, what is that limited audit procedure? Enquire management, enquire internal auditors, enquire audit committee, enquire lawyers, look at the expenses, legal expenses account, try to identify what are all the non-compliances with type 2 law. See, I don't know whether everything is compliant or not, but I know what are all not compliant, what are the pending litigations, all that I can comply. Finally, get a written representation. What is it?
Written representation
from management that all type 2 laws and regulations are complied with. They have to give a declaration. Dear auditor, we complied with all the type 2 laws and regulations, whatever to the best of our knowledge we complied with. Give a declaration. No, just getting declaration, is it alone sufficient? No. You have to inquire lawyers, you have to look at legal expenses account, you have to talk to management, top management, inquire them. Sir, type 2, there will be so many norms. I don't know what norms are applicable. Is there any pending issue going on? Is there any case pending with the Indian Medical Research Council? Is there any pending issue with the Medical Council of India? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So you need to inquire. This is limited audit. Why you have to check? Why you will get only limited assurance? Because you don't know what to be complied. You don't know. If something go wrong, you know that. Whether everything is going right or not, you don't know. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
So limited assurance. So you just obtain reasonable assurance, you get limited assurance here. Okay, sir, this is the audit procedure which I did. What audit procedure? What you will do? You will inquire management. You'll talk to those charged with governance. You'll talk to audit committee. You'll talk to internal auditors. Yes or no? You'll talk to accountant of the company. You verify all the vouchers, challans, whatever is paid. You will verify returns of the company. Yes or no? You'll verify pending litigations. You'll talk to lawyers. You'll get external confirmation from lawyers. All that.
Yes, sir.
You will also get from regulatory authority a confirmation. Log into income tax website. Log into GST website. See, is there any pending notices or not? Clear?
Yes, sir.
This is a procedure that we have to follow in order to discover whether there is a non-compliance or not. See, tell me, what if you found everything is compliant? Compliance only, everywhere compliance only. Which opinion you'll give? Everything is compliant. Balance sheet P&L, notes to accounts also, they said very clearly, we are doing business in compliance with laws and regulations only, they said. And you also found everything is compliant. What opinion you'll give?
Unmodified.
Exactly. Suppose you identified non-compliances, you identified so many loopholes, you identified so many mistakes that they have violated. Because of the violation, fines, penalties, everything will be levied. Getting it? In fact, GST liability understated, TDS liability understated, TDS is not paid. Of course, they disclosed properly. Now, what if there is a non-compliance? You need to see whether that non-compliance is disclosed adequately. Disclosed adequately.
Adequately.
Financial statements. Is it disclosed adequately in the financial statements? Sir, answer is yes, it is disclosed, sir. Then give unmodified opinion. They disclosed everything. No, our balance sheet P&L misleading?
No.
Are they saying we complied with everything? No, they are not saying.
No.
They are in fact disclosing all the violations in notes to accounts very clearly. They are disclosing everything. Then balance sheet P&L are not saying anything wrongly. They are everything expressly giving true and fair view. You also said they're true and fair, but there is some non-compliance. No? If you
Yes.
think that is very severe, if you think that everyone should read it, what you should do?
We need to mention in key audit matters.
Key audit. No.
So,
Key audit
sorry.
matter, I will mention how I did this audit.
Emphasis of matter.
Exactly. Emphasis of matter paragraph. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Suppose non-compliance is not disclosed or disclosure is not adequate. They are just hiding some information or hiding everything. Now, financial statements, are they misleading or are they true and fair?
Misleading.
Which opinion you'll give? Modified opinion.
Modified or
In such case,
adverse.
do you think emphasis of matter is required? No.
No, sir.
Emphasis is given only when there is no material misstatement on that matter. Here there is a material misstatement. You directly give modified opinion. Give qualified or adverse, plus explain the reason and basis for qualified or basis for adverse opinion. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's it. With this, the standard is over. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
See, I have given index in 2 parts. If you see, 3 parts were there. Standards for exclusive discussion, 8 standards. Standards which are already covered as part of various chapters. These are all we covered, you know, already?
Yes, sir.
Everything we discussed, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What are all the SA 200 we discussed? Okay, 210. Okay, fine. Let me come back to that later. Now, part A 250. Auditor responsibilities relating to laws and regulations in an audit of financial statements, which means while conducting audit of financial statements, auditors should consider laws and regulations. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
By the way, tell me, it is whose responsibility to comply with laws and regulations? Is it auditor?
Management.
Management. Yeah, it is responsibility of management with the oversight of those charged with the governance. By taking guidance from top management, it is a responsibility of the management to ensure entities' operations are carried out in accordance with provisions of laws and regulations.
Yes, sir.
Can auditor prevent a non-compliance?
No.
No. Is auditor responsible for preventing a non-compliance? I can't. And are you expected to detect every non-compliance? No.
No.
I can't detect everything. So the standard divides responsibility of auditor in relation to laws and regulations into 2 types. Those laws which have a direct effect on the financial statements. Those do not have a direct effect, but compliance with them is fundamental to continue business. If therefore non-compliance will have material impact on the financial statements at a future date in the form of fines and penalties.
Yes, sir.
What is the objective of the auditor? Okay, 2 types of laws and regulations are there. What is the objective of audit in this? Type 1 law, obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, obtain reasonable assurance. Getting it? What reasonable
Yes.
assurance whether type 1 laws and regulations are complied or not? Type 2 laws are just to do limited audit procedure. Only identify
Limited
non-compliances as much as possible if possible, and report accordingly. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is a non-compliance? Definition of non-compliance is a non-compliance means what? Violation. Compliance means what? Satisfied with the law.
Satisfied.
Now, what is
Yes.
a non-compliance? You may have omitted entire law, or you have committed wrongly something with the law, either intentionally or unintentionally, which is contrary, which is against the prevailing law and regulation. You have either not paid GST at all, or you paid, but it is not correct. It includes transactions entered into in the name of the entity by top management or management employees, whatever it might be. It is belonging to company. Suppose director has committed some fraud somewhere outside with respect to some his personal affair. Now tell me, can I call it as law and regulation in the company, financial statements, audit report? Should I need to disclose it?
No, sir.
Non-compliance does not include personal misconduct of the government top management employees. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now, limited audit procedure for type 2. Type 2, what you have to do? Limited audit procedure. What? Inquire management, inspect documents, licenses, licensing, regulatory authorities, talk to them, get legal opinion, verify legal expenses account. What are the pending litigations? Get a confirmation. Yes or no? So,
Yes, sir.
like, what are the indications, sir? How do I know what are the non-compliances? Some investigation is going on. It's a symptom. They have paid fines and penalties. It's a symptom that there is some violation. They have paid some amount, unspecified, without mentioning anything. They just paid. Payment of bribes and all will be without any particular proof.
Yes, sir.
There are expenses, but there are no proofs. That might be a bribe. Bribe indicates non-compliance. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Unusual payment in cash. Why do you pay in cash? Income tax prohibits more than 10,000 in cash.
Yes, sir.
Unusual payment towards legal and retainership fee. Legal lawyers fees is too much. Why you are paying lawyers fee too much? What is happening behind? Is there any pending case? Why it is? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Adverse media comment, all that. Reporting non-compliance. Suppose you identified some violation. You identified violation, Nikita. What you do? You will report to top management first. Suppose you reported them, they are not modifying financial statements. If auditor concludes non-compliance has material effect on financial statements and it is not adequately reflected in financial statements, give modified, qualified opinion or adverse opinion. Suppose
Yes.
you are unable to verify laws and regulations, you don't have any idea, management is not cooperating you, either qualified or disclaimer depending upon the severity. Easy?
Yes.
Over.
Yes, sir.
Over. SA 250. Have you got clarity?
Yes, sir.